Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us on your Pan-African television for You Media Africa. Today, we shall be having a conversation with Andrea Lucidi. He is a war correspondent, and right now he is based in Moscow. He has lived on the Donbass area for 2 years. Hello, Andrea, and thanks for taking our time to join us on For You Media this day.
Hello, thank you for your invitation.
Right. Can you tell us a little bit more about who Andrea Lucidi is?
So I'm a freelance journalist. In 2022, I chose to come here in Russia and Donbass for work on the conflict in Donbass and Ukraine. After all I hear from the Western media, after I hear a lot and read a lot of fake news and not a real fact about Russia and this conflict. I followed this conflict since 2015 when I was in the university, because for me it was very interesting the presence, the problem of neo-Nazism in Ukraine, and this was related to my research topic in university about the foreign volunteers in the Waffen-SS during the Second World War and the collaborationism in the Soviet area. For this reason, I found very interesting this problem after the Maidan coup in Ukraine and the integration of the far-right militias in the armed force of Ukraine. Since 2015, I lead a lot of conference in university about the question of Donbass and memory policies about the Second World War in Ukraine, because since 2015 the new Ukrainian government started a special politics named decommunistization of Ukraine during all the monument about the Second World War and all Soviet heritage plan to be destroyed, because after 2014, for the new Ukrainian government, this Soviet heritage in Ukraine was like a bad thing, something that was against the Ukrainian nationalism, we can say. And was very interesting because in this time in the European university, one of the most important point of view for the research was focused on the politics of memory. So I found very interesting that in a country in Europe they pretend to delete, to cancel all Soviet heritage in the same country that was under German occupation, and that the Soviet forces, the Red Army and Soviet forces liberated this country.
Right.
For this reason,
Andrea, thank you so much for that. Now, okay, go ahead. Sorry for cutting you short. It seems as if you still had something to tell us. Go ahead.
Okay, for this reason, after the beginning of the special military operation in Ukraine, I was shocked about what I saw in the Western media about Russia, about Ukraine, about Donbass, and as a person that knows this topic, I choose to do my part for the truth. In the first period, I start to write some scientific papers, scientific articles about the Ukrainian nationalism, but I saw for the people was not very interesting, and I choose to come in Russia and work on the ground as a war correspondent from Donbass for reporting what I saw on the ground.
Right. And you mentioned early on that you have been in Donbass for 2 years. So while in Donbass for this period of time, what did your job entail, and what did you actually see on the ground over there in Donbass?
So when I came when I came in Donbass, I was practically alone, without any redaction, without any channel. But fortunately, after a short time, a lot of not I cannot say a lot, but fast almost all Italian foreign journalists that was operated in Donbass join in a common project. The name is International Reporters. This is a new press media, new like news agency, make it from foreign reporters and journalists and war correspondents for reporting to the West from Russia. And when I come, I was alone, but like I said, in short time we built this agency. This was an idea from Christelle Nen. She is come from France in Donbass in 2016, and for she was very important to unite foreign journalists in one agency for work all together, and this project is working very, very well. I saw a lot of things, of course, but my work was focused on the war and to give the possibility at the people in Donbass to tell their history in the West. The people and the authorities always said me, thank you for your presence here, because you know these people are living in the war since 10 years now, and almost nobody was interested to reporting what's happened there. For this reason, for them it's very important to share their history, their experience, and what the Ukrainian army was doing in the region against their cities, against their homes. And of course, when she look in internet, for example, the Western media, when they read about, for example, Russian aggression or something like Ukrainian want to defend their people, they are shocked because in 2014, for them, in 2014, the people of Donbass lived an aggression against them from the Ukrainian side. And of course, for them, it's very important to share their point of view, a point of view that now we cannot see in the West.
Okay. Right. Okay. As it stands, the Italian Parliament is actually questioning the legitimacy of your work, and you have been tagged as a Russian propaganda agent. Why is the Russian or the Italian Parliament actually questioning your work, and why are they tagging you as a Russian propaganda agent?
This is like the fifth time that the Italian Parliament spoke about my work and tried to accuse me or accuse my activity to be propaganda activities, or that I am like a propaganda agent for Russia. I think this is due practically the willing of the Western politics to stop or block or silence a different point of view, practically. For example, 2 days ago, the Italian Parliament questioned about a meeting that I organized between a school from Lugansk in Donbass and a school in Italy, in Milan. This is a project that I make in Lugansk because one time in 2023 I visited a school in Lugansk where the students are learning foreign languages, English, French, Spanish and German. And I was pity for me that they cannot practice these languages with other foreign students. So I had this idea, maybe I can organize some video bridge between schools in Italy, and so they can know foreign students from Europe, and in Europe they can see are like the real people that are living in Donbass. And I thought this was very important. In this meeting, we are not speaking about politics, about the war. Also, the school in Lugansk told me that was better for the students not spoke about the war because they are living in the war since 10 years. And yeah, for me it was important that the students can speak about music, aspiration, university, project in the future. And this was what they speaking in the about what they speaking during this meeting. But for the Italian parliament, it's a big scandal that someone can organize a video bridge between a school in Lugansk, in Donbass, or in Russia, and an Italian school. Also, the European Commission spoke about this project because they said maybe Andrea Lucidi used money from the European Commission for schools activity, but no, this is not true. Of course, I don't use any European fund for my project, and I can also say I use my personal computer, my laptop, my webcam, my microphone for arrange such meeting between Lugansk and Italy. But I think the problem is not this. The problem is they don't want to accept a different point of view. They don't accept a different perspective of this conflict.
Right. And now, Andrea, what can you say about the news that is being put forth by mainstream media about what is happening in Ukraine and Russia, and the way that this mainstream media is portraying Russia in this whole conflict? And what advice can you give to this mainstream media?
So practically now the information that are coming from the mainstream is very, very full of politics. So the politics in Europe give the direction, and the media need to follow this direction, or they can have a lot of problem with, for example, funds for the newspaper or for magazine, for example. If now in Europe a media, and we saw that there are a lot of media under sanctions. If a media is accused to be a Russian media or spread like Russia disinformation, like they said, this media can be put under sanctions, and practically this media can be closed. This is censor. I have not any other words for describe this process. They try to silence any critical voice about this situation, about information for Russia and Donbass. We see practically in Italy and Europe only one point of view, the point of view of Ukraine and Washington. It's almost impossible to find in the mainstream other point of view. For example, I can give you an example. 1 month ago, plus minus, a troop from the German state channel ZDF was in Mariupol. They depart from Moscow, from the correspondent office in Moscow, and reach Mariupol. And from Mariupol, they make a live with the German television in the first state channel of Germany. And the journalist in the studio asked a lot of questions. For example, if it was difficult for them to reach Mariupol, and the German journalist, told that no, was not difficult. He told that they are working free, without any pressure, without any control from the police or military authorities there. And for reply to this live that the state German television make from Mariupol, the Ukrainian ambassador in Germany and the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs told to the ZDF, to this channel, that the correspondent office in Moscow need to make like a press release where they say that the situation was not like they described, that Mariupol was not under reconstruction or something like this, or all German journalists from ZDF in Ukraine can lose their accreditation. So this is the situation now in Europe. When someone are trying to, from the mainstream, I mean, try to expose another point of view, the authorities want to stop you. And what can do a simple person for have more information? A simple person can see Russian media if it's possible, or can see in the new media like Telegram, like YouTube, independent reporters like me, like other people, press agencies like international reporters, where we are trying to offer this. I don't like to say alternative information, but for me it's important that the people can build themselves their idea about this question, and this can be possible only if people can see the both sides.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, Andrea. Thank you very much. I want to thank you so much for honoring our invitation this day on For You Media Africa and enlightening the world about what has been happening in Donbass, and also about what your work entails and the difficulties you have been facing. Thank you so much for your time. I want to thank you all for taking our time to be with us on For You Media this day. Thank you so much. Do not go away, for more of our transmissions are coming up.
Thank you.